Did you guys see the Creator Clash?
No.
I watched some of it.
It was very fun. But
It's impressively cool.
I knew that Harley was a very tall man, pretty much a giant. To hear that he was like 6'5", and that put it in perspective, which means he's taller than
Yeah.
you guys, which is to me in my mind is like holy.
He's fucking. He looked so big compared to Aaron in the ring.
And Aaron is 6'2".
Yeah, he's not like a short person. He's like a normal height, like tall person.
Mm-hmm.
Not like really really tall, but like he's like a tall guy.
Mm-hmm. Above average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like just to see him be dwarfed by Harley like that.
It was freaking huge.
Yeah, man. Whoa.
Yeah. No, some of that was really
I heard
good.
It was good.
I was impressed. I think fight of the night had to go to Ryan and and the guy that he fought, whose name I can't remember.
Alex Ernst.
Alex, right.
Mm-hmm.
They went all 5 rounds, which were they the only one to go all 5?
Ian also won all 5 rounds.
Which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty invested in it.
Well, it didn't make sense considering Dr. Mike had much better technical ability. And
Dr. Mike looked like a boxer fighting a kid, which was just crazy.
Yeah, not quite though. I say Ian had some good like fundamentals, but it was clear like the speed at which Dr. Mike was able to deliver punches was remarkably faster and more accurate than Ian was able to, especially with like that right cross. But Ian did eat some hits and punch back. Like it wasn't insignificant what Ian was doing. The more impressive feat is that he was able to take the damage and keep going. I don't think he got knocked down.
I did. I don't think I watched their whole fight. I don't remember, but
yeah, I don't think Ian got knocked down in his fight. Dr. Mike definitely not, but I think Ian actually stayed on his feet the whole fight, which is very impressive. Yeah. But I would say, Ryan Alex was definitely the fight of the night.
People were impressed with this fight too. I didn't watch it, but I heard some people talking about Matt's fight.
Really?
Yeah, who do you think they were impressed by?
Yeah. I guess that does make sense. That does make sense because it was
thinking about it. Either Matt's anus made an appearance, or Matt took a lot more punches than people, or the other dude was just really good.
That one.
I mean, yeah, technically.
How fast did Matt get TKO'd? It's like 30 seconds or something?
22 seconds.
22 seconds?
Now, here's the thing. Wade, you're absolutely right. Matt did take a lot more punches than people expected and a lot faster because Dad came out of his corner like a bat out of hell. I don't think that guy stopped swinging from the moment the bell went ding. It was just insane. Just like a mania of punching. Now, to Matt's credit, and this is what I said in my other podcast, Go, My Favorite Sports Team. I did a whole breakdown of this. I think Matt could have gone a lot longer in that fight. I think they called that fight early. Now, for safety reasons, I'm like, sure, whatever. But I honestly don't think Matt was going down because as soon as they called it, Matt was like ready to throw another punch. He tried to throw another, then he realized it was over and he just went, oh, okay, I guess it's done now. In typical Matt fashion. But honestly, like, I don't see any reason why that fight got stopped early when the very next fight with Ryan, they gave Ryan a standing 8 count, and I thought that they weren't doing that in this event. Like, he went down and down hard, and they didn't call it. They counted him up, and he got up, to his credit. Very tough to do. And yet Matt admittedly took a few shots to the chin, but I wouldn't say that he was at any risk of falling down. They just called that really early.
I'm not a boxing aficionado by any means, but I was a little surprised at some of the TKOs they called because like some of the fights you could tell the fighter on the worst end of it was clearly kind of out of it and taking a lot of damage and was like not necessarily there. Matt took a couple heavy shots, but I think if he had gotten a standing count and just like been allowed to continue, it seemed like he wanted to. It seemed like they called and they called. I honestly thought they ended Aaron and Marley's fight a little early too. Like, I know Aaron was starting to get kind of knocked around and taken, but like he seemed like if he just got a second to stand there, like 5 seconds, 8 seconds, whatever, he seemed like he was kind of still in it, like he wanted to.
I could
But I'm not like a
see-
ref, so I don't know.
I could
don't know what
see
they
the
look
refs
for.
calling that one because you could, if you were watching the way Harley was throwing those punches, because there's a
That's
rule.
Harley.
Yeah, Harley. Harley Marley. Who cares?
Marley
One's the
Horn-
ghost
Martin's
of Christmas
Hornstein.
past. One's
Critical said it very well during the fight. Aaron was throwing punches. Harley was throwing grand pianos. When you've got a 6'5", 270-pound dude throwing any kind of punch at your head, it's like getting hit with a brick every single time, even if it's a light tap. So when Aaron was like jostled and wobbly, you could see Harley he was giving him love taps. He was just barely going boop, boop, boop to him to keep the fight up. The official knew that Aaron could seriously take some damage because in boxing, there's a definite risk of getting hurt very easily if you're not careful. And so I'm totally fine with the whole
How?
in terms of leaning.
explain to me how getting hit in the head could be bad for you.
Well, I called Harley over to your house right now. He's walking in the
good.
front door.
yeah, come on, show me some of your love taps.
Yeah. So I'm totally fine with that one being called when it was, just because the risk of danger is so much higher than in a lighter weight class with, say, Matt and Dad. They're at, I believe, were they welterweight? 150 pounds was the weight.
I have no idea what things are.
Yeah. And so the risk of damage is lower there, but at the same time, you don't know what is going to happen with a single punch. Like a person can die from one punch if they get hit in the wrong spot, wrong time, fall down wrong. There's a lot that can happen. So I'm always like, okay, safety. I do believe Matt had more fight in him, and it would have been fine. But also, it's a great way to start off the show with a 22-second TKO.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it.
Somebody asked, would we ever step into the ring? No.
No.
For me, no. God, no.
No.
People keep
I'm
assuming
good.
that I would because they're like, oh, he's a masochist. Like, I don't want to be punched in the face. I don't like that idea.
And there's
I'm
lots of people that
okay.
love to punch you in the face. It's a bad combination.
I
Yeah,
honestly
exactly.
still think that's so. I get
feel
that. I understand for someone like Logan Paul, either of the Paul brothers, someone like he was an athlete. And so for him to be like, oh, being YouTube is kind of sketch, I'm starting to get in trouble, whatever. How do we keep this going? Boxing. Sure. Like it's not, and I know, who is it? Logan is actually kind of like getting better, getting a little respect, I think, from his multiple fights. But the whole thing of creators wanting to box when they haven't boxed before and they weren't really like an athlete before in their lives, but now they're just like, it's a show, but there's so much other shit you could do that doesn't involve brain damage.
Yeah.
Boxing is such a weird choice to me. It's
Yeah,
not.
we could go competitive canoeing. I would do that.
I don't know if people think it's like you just punch them and they punch you. There's a lot of subtlety and strategy to boxing that I know enough to know that I would be terrible at it. I have no idea how boxers do it. It's very high level. It's very it's complex. And if you do it wrong, you get punched right in your face, which just sounds terrible. There's got to be better stuff than boxing. But and I know iDubbbz, the whole message for this was he wanted to make it legit. He wanted to take it seriously so that we're doing this, but we're respecting boxing. All the creators trained really hard and took it seriously. It wasn't just like a goof where someone walked in the ring unprepared and just flailed around for 30 seconds. But there's got to be something better. I have no interest in boxing, and that seems like
Competitive
crazy choice
eating?
for people who need their face and their
Checkers?
brains to make content to make money.
I mean, yeah, to be perfectly honest, I understand that aspect of it. And it's why I don't really like those parts of the creator boxing that I've seen. I'm not saying that they are bad, to do it, because sure, yourself and you want to train for it. That's your choice, your brain, your body, whatever. But when it comes down to this event, what I really liked about it is it was for charity. It was all exhibition matches, 5 rounds, 2 minutes, lighter. All the fighters did training. Some of those fighters, I think it was Hayes, next fight, stepped in last minute. When I mean last minute, a month before. And for any kind of event like that, you need, and especially if you haven't done boxing before, months. And I think in the one fight, it showed the most of this reality of boxing. And again, I talked about this with Ty. the reality of, oh my God, I'm punching someone I know in the face, or someone is punching me in the face, was the Odd Ones Out and the I Did a Thing fight. Did you guys see that one?
I actually didn't. I did a thing. I watch a lot of his content, so I should have.
Oh, apparently my audio is cutting out.
Sounds fine to
Sounds
me.
All of you guys have sounded fine to me.
Oh no.
You guys look really great. Stream.
Yeah, I think the preview is just low res, but
Huh. Hopefully some people can hear this. I'm hoping it's not audio is cutting out slightly, very slightly.
This is a test stream, everybody. It's a test.
yeah,
We're
if it's garbage
yeah.
quality, it's sorry, it's a test.
Yeah. But in that fight, it all started games. Did you guys see that one? The I Did a Thing, Odd Ones Out fight?
I didn't.
Okay, so they come out. It's all fun and games, jokes. They were doing that before ever come out there. And then the fight starts, and I Did a Thing. Just he dominated that fight. But you could see on his face, because when he was hitting the Odd Ones Out, and he landed some very good shots, and he had like way outclassed the Odd Ones Out, punching him in the face. You could see on I Did a Thing's face that he was like, oh shit, because he would hit the Odd Ones Out, and the Odd One Out hit a big hit, like head like snap back, everything looks woozy. I Did a Thing looks over to the ref, and ain't over yet, just because you feel bad about the damage that the other ones I was taking, until they tap out or until they say no more. The fight's still going, so he had to keep hitting, and you could see like on the end of some of these fights, people were like, oh shit, God, that was scary, because it's a fight. You're really throwing it all, and you got to kind of forget that you care about this other person, or hate them, or are indifferent towards them. You got to punch them, and that's a scary thing. So, but in there, like, it really was.
I would potentially get in the ring as a ref.
If you were a ref, I would get next to the ring and be the guy who rings the bell.
Okay. All right. So there is a way.
What way
There's
would
a
you
way.
join, Mark?
I would do commentary.
Ooh, that
Actually,
sounds fun. I want to do commentary too. Let's both do commentary.
Ian asked me to actually fight in this event, and I couldn't. Number one, because I don't want to fight. Number two, because I was filming Space, and I had so much stuff to do, so I couldn't. But then he asked me to commentate on it, and I also had to say no. That one, I was like, oh man, I wish I could have done that.
That sounds fun.
But if they do it again next year, I would love to, if my schedule lines up for it, because it's weird. Is the one sport that I kind of know a good bit about. It's the one sport that I have watched casually. It's the one sport that I have like downs and stuff like that. But I just never talked about it. So
Ian sent me a lot of messages too, but I kind of ignored him. I blew him off. He was really desperate to get me there. I don't know. Very big fan, I guess. Kind of creepy, kind of cringy how big of a fan he is of my stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know him. He didn't ask me to do anything.
That's okay.
Also,
that's okay.
People in chatter say like, "Oh, Bob, you'd be fine. No one could reach your face." I just want to reiterate, Harley, the guy who fought Aaron, the Epic Mealtime guy, he's taller than me. He's mostly muscle, and he's got big, scary-looking, muscular arms. If I fought Harley, which I'm over, like I'm not within any weight, right? It'd be like a catch weight fight of some sort, because it would just be exhibition anyway. Harley would fucking kill me. He would punch me in my big head so many times that I would be dead. I think you're all underestimating how big I am and how valuable that is. I know everyone's seen Butterbean punch the shit out of the Jackass guys. That's because Butterbean isn't my size or bigger, and the Jackass guys are scrawny, tiny little, drugged out of their mind, having a good time dudes, skater boys. If I fought someone who was even remotely my size, no shot. No
Shorter
shot.
ones scare me more,
Pain.
because like they start punching you in the gut, and it's like you gotta look down to find their head, and the worst case they like bite you in the dick or something, you know?
I don't think that's allowed.
I don't know if it is or not, but
maybe.
they could do it.
I'm gonna tell you. We're telling you right now, it's not allowed. So
Oh, no one ever breaks the rules ever.
if it
Actually,
happened,
they're pretty strict about the rules in boxing. Honestly, it's
Mhm.
kind of a.
Oh, the match is over. You bit his dick off. It's too late. Dick's gone.
There's a pretty famous boxing match actually that involved not dick biting, but biting of another part, and yet it ended right away. Actually, that's considered pretty uncool by.
Oh, they just
about
rewind it and put
everybody.
it back on.
I don't think it went back on.
no, actually, but the funny thing is that was the Mike Tyson. Oh God, who was the other guy?
Evander Holyfield.
Evander Holyfield. So Mike Tyson
that one.
bit his ear off.
He bit a chunk of it off.
Chunk
yeah.
of it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And then they eventually like many years later, they reconciled. Mike Tyson apologized, and then they did a sketch, and there's a video of it where Mike Tyson shows up at Evander Holyfield's house and is like, "I got you something," and it's a little present box, and he's like, "It's your ear." It's this little chunk of ear inside the box. I don't think it's real. It's just very funny.
That's messed up.
That's
It's kind of messed up.
Yep.
The bite of 80.
Agreed to it.
Shut up, Chad. What year was that fight? It wasn't 87. It was a little before that one.
I don't even know.
It was
no.
late 90s, early 2000s. It was
Yeah,
when
it
I
was,
was a
90s.
kid, but I don't remember.
97?
Oh, okay.
97, yeah.
The real bite.
Bite of 97.
97. Yeah, you were right. Oh, excuse me.
Anyway,